Next is call to the public. The call to the public is now open. Individuals may speak for 3 minutes, spokespersons 10. The council cannot discuss matters not on the agenda. However, at the end of the call to the public, council members may respond to criticism, request staff to review the issue, or add the topic to a future agenda. And I have a couple here. I'll begin with Nina Luxenburg.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Nina Luxenburg, local physician and Sahuarita resident, and I'm very concerned about the heavy truck traffic from proposed Copper World mine will have a devastating impact on our town. Santa Rita Road is 1 lane in each direction. Hudbay's trucks go 10 to 15 miles per hour above speed limit. They're so wide that to turn from Sahuarita Road, they have to go into the opposite lane. Past the residential homes and through the biodiversity experimental range, the road is unpaved and the tires are kicking up dust for 8 miles. Pima County warned state environmental regulators last year that Hudbay's truck traffic could, quote, drastically increase, unquote, dust and potentially violate clean air standards. Current truck volume is nothing compared to what it'll be if Copper World mine opens. The projected volume of 40,000 one-way truck trips per year, or 110 one-way truck trips a day, or 1 truck every 15 minutes, was extrapolated from a 2013 environmental report containing the only public traffic data by the previous owner of Rosemont Mine. After Hudbay bought Rosemont, which is on the east side of the mountains, Hudbay began purchasing parcels of private land extending to the west, where they plan to construct open-pit mines called Copper World. The west side has no major road access. Interstate 19 is about 15 miles away. Trucks will haul copper concentrate, diesel fuel, and other hazardous chemicals and explosives on Santa Rita Road, shared by school buses, residential traffic, bicyclists, and joggers, and on Sahuarita Road, our main commercial corridor, and where our elementary, middle, and high schools are. When Hudbay's plans to modify its production process at a future date, trucks will also be hauling millions of pounds of sulfuric acid to be sold overseas as a commercial product. What are we turning our pristine town into? Because Copper World will be on privately owned land, Hudbay has not been required to disclose truck traffic information. Recently, Hudbay told a Tucson newspaper it is too soon to provide, quote, precise traffic estimates, unquote. I don't believe it's too soon to provide traffic estimates. The public needs and has a right to know the safety and health impact of excessive heavy truck traffic. What is the projected number of traffic accidents, injuries, fatalities? How much air pollution, noise pollution? How much rotten egg odors from sulfuric acid cargo? How much excessive light from headlights? Because Copper World and its trucking will be a 24/7 operation. And I bring to your attention the common law tort of nuisance, which protects a citizen's rights for the use and enjoyment of their property. And heavy truck traffic will be interfering with our rights. Nearby Mission and Sahuarita mines use rail access for transport. Rosemont mine would have used State Road 83. Copper World, projected to be the 4th largest copper mine in the U.S., producing 85,000 tons per year, will exclusively be using heavy trucks. Yet most major U.S. copper mines have rail access. Neither the state, Pima County, nor the town of Sahuarita have released even a rudimentary traffic impact study, while Hudbay remains silent. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Well done. 3 seconds to spare. Next is Steve Brown. Thanks, Lisa. Good evening.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to address the council. My name is Steve Brown. I live in Tucson now, but I think I would qualify as a Sahuarita native, having been born in Tucson in the 1940s and growing up on the Santa Rita experimental range until I got into my 20s. My family, one of several Brown families with history in this town, got our mail at Box 8, Sahuarita, when the Sahuarita post office reopened in the 1950s. The first postmaster, back in the 1800s was named Brown, so not necessarily a relative. Maybe you've read my piece in the Friends of Sahuarita book, Treasured Nuggets from the Past, where I talk about my career as a teacher with a focus on the concept of truth. I retired from teaching a couple of times, most recently from TUSD, Tucson Unified, when the pandemic closed our classrooms in 2020. And because I was over 70, they said I was especially at risk, and so they asked me if I would be interested in retiring. So I did. So that's my second retirement. These days I volunteer in schools and through community organizations advertising for the ideals of education, most of all, for the truth. I'm here as a volunteer. I figure I've got a few more years to advocate for the dignity of truth. I'm here to encourage you all to dig a little deeper as you seek the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, about the many risks that Hudbay's Copper World project, as currently envisioned, poses to Sahuarita citizens, folks whom you are elected to represent. I encourage you to research this project and this company from every angle. Be skeptical. Exercise your critical thinking skills. Ask yourselves, what's the story behind the story when Hudbay tells you something, gives you a hard hat, poses you for a photo? Are they good neighbors? Will they be good neighbors in 5 years, 10 years, 50 years? What's their track record? Mining has always been part of Sahuarita, and members of my family have been involved in the mining industry. But I'm discouraged by this particular mine in this particular place at this particular time. And I don't want Sahuarita to be a sacrifice zone or a future Superfund site. So thank you very much for this opportunity to share. I have copies with some of the other things that I was going to say, but I wanted to keep under that 3 minute mark.
Thank you, and I
Thank you
appreciate
for
that.
coming with
And
us.
if you want to give them to Lisa, she can distribute to them
Okay.
to us afterwards.
Thank you very much.
And make copies if necessary. Thank you.
And Mr. Brown,
Thank you.
thank you for your service to all of the students as you continue to do so. That's remarkable. Thank you.